Hey everyone, can you hear me? Oh, good, very well, thank you. I'm not sure if I should use this. I feel like Hitler or something. This is ridiculous, I mean, right? And so I don't have any slides, I don't have anything. It happened this morning. There's a free slot. We need somebody to talk about something, right? So I would like to tell you about the lovely space that we are hosting ETHPrague at, and like, let's make it chill, informal. It's last days. We've been partying for 2 days. So, just, if you have any questions, feel free, even during my talk, feel free to ask. And maybe I would sit or something. And I said, will you kill me for that, organizers? I would just, like, get on the level. Right. Hey. So I would like to talk about Paralelní Polis, about Cryptoanarchy and Bordel, which I put the title in the talk, and because I would like to introduce you the legendary place that we are in, actually. And for some of you, I maybe already gave tours around the place, and you heard it many times. I'm like the historical guide of Polis. I tell the stories behind it. And there is many of them, because the idea of the place, the name of the place goes way back. And before I start, maybe I would ask you, is some of you first time in Paralelní Polis? In this place? Yeah, many of you, very well, very well. So I have some audience. If you heard it many times, I'm sorry, maybe it get repeated. But Paralelní Polis, the name comes from a text from more than 40 years ago. And maybe you heard about Václav Havel, the first president of Czech Republic, and one of the key personas in the dissident movement during the communist Czechoslovakia, the Charter 77, which was a group of people who made a bunch of essays, writings against the communist regime here about the immorality of what is happening within the country. And between these people, a colleague of Václav Havel was Václav Benda, who wrote within Charter 77 basically a manifesto. He explains, the essay is called Paralelní Polis. And he talks about building parallel societies. That's what polis means, like society or state. And in his view, he was reflecting on the movement at the day, that we cannot really fight the regime, we cannot fight the government, because there is no top-down or bottom-up system how to change it. There is no traditional social change mechanism in place. I cannot vote because there is single party, right? I cannot change the system by voting. I cannot organize myself. I cannot protest, speak freely. So the effective way how to achieve freedom is to forget about trying to change it and build a parallel one. Build a parallel society with parallel structures, which enable us to have some alternative to the system which doesn't work, right? And which means like free parallel education, economy, and this is the idea which goes way back. And I wouldn't say that he described the concept, but we see this pattern all over the history. Over hundreds, thousands of years, that the parallel structures emerge. But that was what we call Paralelní Polis 1.0, and where you are sitting here, or well, actually there, that's the Paralelní Polis 2.0, like the refreshment, because there was not much focus to these ideas of Paralelní Polis after the revolution. And in 2012, around like 10 years back, this idea gets confronted with crypto-anarchists. There is this Czech artist community, if you want to, this artistic group, Havel, which gave the branding, the artistic feel to Paralelní Polis, and the broad idea of Paralelní Polis. And this merges with the hacker Cryptoanarchy community from Slovakia, and which met these artists. It's many stories there, but and they decided to create a hackerspace, to create a place where we somehow merge the digital and the physical realm to build the parallel polis through the digital tools, to the tools of cryptoanarchy, because now you have do you know about cryptoanarchy, by the way? Is it also a new word for you? Because it used to be pretty like common in the community years back, but I guess today it's more of maybe a bit more niche. And maybe you know about cypherpunks, about the movement from 80s from US, from people, there was many known like scientists, programmers, entrepreneurs who you might have heard about cypherpunk mailing list, and this is the community from which, or like the researchers were from which many technologies on which Bitcoin and therefore also Ethereum is built on, Nick Havel also, and these guys. But one of them was Timothy C. May, who wrote in 1988 the Manifesto of Cryptoanarchy, and he takes the ideas of the cypherpunk movement even further. So the cypherpunks, the goal there was to write a code, to write documentation and write, build the tools to be able to protect ourselves from the government or from the digital assets in general, to achieve privacy. And with the internet emerging, it was much need for that. And the cryptoanarchy takes it further because it imagines the world where this digital realm is actually bigger than the physical one. And I believe that's what's happening today. The internet is well, maybe even more important than the physical place these days, right? Because like we have just the magic internet money here, and everybody is building like conferences about it and making a bunch of money, right? It's here, and you see directly in this form. But it's also the thing that the government has and always will have, I believe, the power over the physical world, but it's losing, or maybe even already lost, the power in the digital one, where we can use these tools, the uncensorable tools of cryptoanarchy, to free ourselves, right? So yeah, that's this place basically. The goal is to educate about these, to build community which even produces, helps with these tools, and this is what's been happening here for the last 8 years. So Paralelní Polis was opened in 2014 by this group of hackers and artists, a ridiculous group, right? Like they want to run some place together. It was a mess, so there are many concepts. As you could notice in the building, it's divided into various concepts. When you enter, there's a Bitcoin cafe, which is a cafe open to public, to anybody, which accepts only, well, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I'm not sure where I see how much time I have left. Let me know. Yeah. Bitcoin cafe is just the front line of onboarding, right? Like somebody comes from a street and he wants a cafe, and the idea of the place is to educate him on how to, well, he can use the Bitcoin or whatever, the crypto payment, in just the simplest way possible, just to get a coffee, right? And this can take him just less than a minute. I took it down to like half a minute, I believe, sometimes. It's a huge UX development actually happening there, right? I mean, directly with normal people facing this technology. So that's Bitcoin Cafe. On the first floor, where people are hacking right now with the lovely terrace, that's a co-working space called Paper Hub. It's called Paper Hub because at the time when the space was opened, it was actually the cheapest and nicely designed way to build the co-working with paper. Most of the furniture was made out of paper, and you can still see many shelves and stuff, but over the years it get renewed, of course. And the second floor is Institute of Cryptoanarchy. And the Institute of Cryptoanarchy, I'm sure you love the branding. There is a bunch of hoodies, get some. It's a real nice brand, which, yeah. So that's a place for the conferences, for meetups, for community to gather. But it also supposed to work in kind of a think tank way, where the institute should represent the something like EFF, maybe, you know, like represent the digital the values of the digital freedom. And then maybe I took you to the basement. Somebody been to Bordel. so Bordel. So actually, when the Polis opened the years back in 2014, 15, there was in the basement there was a maker's lab. It was like a lab focused especially on 3D printing. You might notice we still have some 3D printers there. They are from Prussia. It's like a fella here, just a few streets away, great printers, and he's supporting Polis. So they've got a bunch of printers there, but then they are basically grew into a business and moved to their own place. And now, during the years, this place where Bordel now is was not really utilized. It used to be a storage unit. So there was always a mess, which we call Bordel. And we cleaned it. We started to, Josef actually, also a colleague from Foundation, he used to jam there, just do music. And you cannot hear it upstairs because it's in the basement, right? So after we get some music equipment there, we start to clean it and we turn it into a hackerspace. And I'm so thankful, or like, I'm so glad there is Ethereum community actually visiting Bordel because, I mean, the Robston merge happened there. It was our little NASA center. It was fun. And it's still open. There's still some techno playing. And if you just want to visit, or like if you're hacking and you need some tools, you need maybe meet some hackers there. Maybe you do hardware project, you need some physical tools, maybe you need some nodes. We are running, Bordel is running 2 Bitcoin nodes, Monar node, and Litecoin, Dogecoin node, and 2 Ethereum nodes, 1 get full node, and it used to be get archival node, but I had to trim it down, I'm sorry, but it's an Aragon archive node now, but I have 12 terabyte fucking machine right in the cafe, so if you want to see that, let me know. I'm proud that I managed to run the archive node physically, because even get team itself couldn't done it, I learned later. So we provide this archive node to public. You can find it on bordel.xyz. You can just put it in your MetaMask or something. So yeah, that's Bordel, and there is next to it is also the YouTube studio, which produces the content, right? And on the YouTube channel of Parallel Polis, there is English one and Czech one, but on both you find English content either from the studio itself, where there is, for example, Serapo, like the lovely lady which does the interviews. She has capacity in many fields and like explains a lot of various stuff there. I have a talk there in Czech about how to run your own dark market, and I explain stories of Russell Bricht and so on. So you can find this content there, and there are also recordings from the HCPP, Hackers Congress Paralelní Polis. That's a flagship conference of Paralelní Polis, which is generally about cryptoanarchy, digital freedom. And there have been many interesting speakers over the years, and you can find most of them on the YouTube channel. And Hackers Congress is the annual conference. It's happening again as every year, and it's starting on 30th of September, which is Friday. It goes to 2nd of October, Sunday. So please visit us. It will be literally here, and it's part of it is Ethereum, Bitcoin, or like this cryptocurrencies as a tools of cryptoanarchy, but it's much broader. There are artists, there are like various technologies. I know AI researchers are coming. Will be fun. Come to visit. So yeah, that's like my pitch for Paralelní Polis. I have 6 minutes left. Okay, good. I still have time to talk more about. Yeah, do you have any questions or something? Like, feel free to be interactive and somehow interrupt me. Yeah.
Please repeat it in the microphone. Okay. Sorry. Do you host? Hello. Okay. Yeah. Do you host a lot of events here for different crypto communities, or is it mainly kind of focused on Bitcoin? Or
so it's, as I say, the cryptoanarchy. It's all of these two. Like, it's a very broad topic. It's not just cryptocurrencies. Well, it is crypto before crypto was crypto, if you know what I mean. So there is also like various communities, not just and like the Parallel Polis is the parallel system needs many more things, but like having digital economy like this is incredible. So it's a big part of it. There is many people from Bitcoin community. There are some Bitcoiners. there are people from Ethereum community, right? Hey, there is a bunch of Monero guys because there are privacy extremists mostly here. There is looking at him. There is some Litecoin maximalists, actually, because like what was happening here over the years is like 2017 hit and you can't use Bitcoin in your cafe, right? The fees are higher than the cafe itself, so people switch to Litecoin, which have the same UX, and some people still shill it like, come on, you can just use it for fast payments. And some stuff we were buying just now for Bordel and for Polis was paid in Litecoin because it was the quickest. But yeah, and so I also research and play with Lightning networks, so like various technologies which we find useful, right? And we give place to these communities which find their place here. So I'm really glad we had a Bitcoin conference here like 3 weeks ago. It was Pizza Day conference, and it was, I would say, like liberal Bitcoin conference. It's Bitcoiners you would like to talk to, like good people, researchers, or like people who understand the technology and who are not dogmatic. And it's just really decent. Now we have Ethereum community, right? There might be a Monero conference next year. So, but these are like the crypto communities, and it's one of the key values. It's also definitely important part of it, but like generally meetups and stuff happening here. There are biologists within like Enviro community. There was like open source hydroponic they built as a project of Paralelní Polis before the COVID. There are some artists. There are the AI. There was a whole like part of Polis was like AI research community basically, right? So various people and a lot of security and privacy guys and workshops on that. We do workshops in Bordel. We provide some education to public, right? So yeah. 3 minutes. Some more questions or something, or I can just, yeah.
Thank you. I'm just wondering, as we're on stream, what is something you would still really love to organize here, which hasn't happened yet?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, ETHPrague. I'm so glad it happened. I mean, we postponed it because of the COVID, but I'm so glad it's happening. It's amazing, isn't it? What I would like to organize here, some Monero conference is coming. That will be fun. Hopefully, I don't want to leak anything though. And but apart of that, there was. We did Hackatosh's Flying Circuit. It's a hackathon. There was actually also one of the uncles to Bordel community, and Hackatosh's was first year was more international, then it was local, and I would like to have hackathon of this size, but being at Hackatoshi, which is not focused just on Ethereum, but like more on the hacking than like building projects, and like also in the similar vibe of like, you know, actually doing some cool stuff, somehow hacking the society and hacking our ways to the Pearl society, yeah. And then one thing I forgot to mention, actually, fuck, what the hell? One thing I forgot to mention is that there is this beautiful QF round happening. It's initiative coming somehow from EF, where there is a matching round of some money, matching pool, and you can vote which project will get some share of this. So you can find it there if you go further to Fabrika with the booths. There are nice ladies from EF which will explain you how to vote. And please, read through the project. There is many local communities I was bothering to sign, so I hope they will get some votes. And there is also Paralelní Polis, there is also Bordel, so we can support them either directly or if you want to donate something, but also through this quadratic voting. So please don't forget about that before the event finishes. Yeah. Good. Do you have some time left, or you're good? Okay, you're gonna kick me out?
That's it. I'm not going to kick you out. I'm not going to kick you out, but there is another presentation happening. There's an interview happening.
Oh, right. I'm looking forward to the interview then. Yeah. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you very much, Mario.
Thank you, everybody.
Give it up for Mario.
Thank you.